Hey, how are you all doing? Yes, I know it has been forever. You can tell from the title, I am going to share my baby story with you all. I know I mentioned that I can't believe it's been 7 months since I recorded a video, but I thank you all for still following me. For those of you who don't know, by the way, I'm Gabrielle, also known as Be Naturally Glam. And I'm a first-time mom to a beautiful baby girl. I told you all 7 months ago that I was going to share her story with you all. So I was just trying to figure out the perfect time and I think now is the perfect time to share it with you all. It is the holidays. It's about giving thanks and being grateful for life. But I have enjoyed these 11 months of spending time with my baby. She is almost 1 already this month. I cannot believe it. Time has gone by so fast. But this is going to be for the believers and the non-believers. And when I say that, I mean those who believe in God. Back in July, I actually came back here to Georgia and I had my first real doctor's visit. I had my first set of labs taken, and that's when I found out I was anemic. My iron level was so low. It was 9.9. I think I mentioned that in my birth story. Another thing is you actually have the option to get the genetic screening, and that's just to see if there are any defects with the fetus, such as Down syndrome, and another is spina bifida. Hence, you can hear the word spine. That's a condition that focuses on the spinal cord and vertebrae development. You actually have the option to get the genetic screening. I was 32 at the time, and when my blood work came back, they told me that I was at high risk for my baby having Down syndrome. So I broke down. I was like, I don't have a family history of Down syndrome. I knew her dad didn't. So I'm like, what is going on? It took me a minute to process that. So I had to go back and get another order of labs taken, and they actually had to do a ultrasound. For the most part, my other labs were good. No gestational diabetes, and my vitals were good. My weight was great. Moving forward, back in August, I had to get an ultrasound done, and it showed an abnormality. This is what the overall story is about, or this video is about. So I had to go to a maternal fetal specialist every 2 weeks. So my baby had a defect in her lung. It was her left lung, and the term is called CPAM. It is a mass that was on her lung which affects the growth. And I was so devastated. This was the middle of the pandemic. Nobody was allowed to go with me, not even her dad. So just thinking about it, I had to go to all of these appointments by myself. Hearing my baby had an abnormality, hearing my baby possibly had Down syndrome, it was so much to take in. I was just like, God, what is going on? So I'm going to a fetal maternal specialist every 2 weeks, and plus I'm going to my regular OB the other weeks. They were looking at the ultrasound, monitoring her lung. Good thing that the mass was small to begin with, because the risk of having CPAM is a malfunction of the airway. Another major risk is potentially shifting your baby's heart. And I'm like, wait, what? There are some serious risks with having a CPAM. And I was so glad when they told me hers was so small. I can't remember exactly how small because they measure it a different way through the ultrasound. So I was going every 2 weeks to get that checked out to make sure it did not get any bigger. And I had to go see a surgeon by myself. Once I was at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, they actually had to go and do an echocardiogram. They're looking further into her heart chambers just to see if there's any malfunctions there. You want to make sure everything is working within those 4 chambers that you have. So thank God nothing was wrong with her heart. Her heart, he said, shifted just a tad, but It was mainly still intact, which was good to hear because the surgeon told me, like, when they say a shift, I mean, it's a serious, like, the heart just turned some. So I was thankful that didn't happen with her. And they also checked the vomer bone, just the center bone there in her nose, to make sure that she did not have Down syndrome. So she does not have Down syndrome. After the echocardiogram, they took me to a room where it was just me and the doctor, like I said, one-on-one. So he's talking about surgery so fast. This is going, I'm not going to say in and out my ear. I'm just like trying to process all of this by myself. But he told me what would happen. He told me right after she was born, they will wait like a month or two before the surgery takes place. But when he told me that sometimes you think it's shrinking, but your baby is actually growing, that kind of hit me. So I'm sitting up here like, okay, I guess this mass isn't going to go away. So with it being in the left lung, he told me a part of her lung would be removed. And I'm like, okay. But what I did not know is as she grows, the space there, it kind of takes up and replaces what was removed, if that makes sense. But there was just no changes. Every 2 weeks, no changes. He was trying to tell me that she'll live a normal life. The only thing he said is she probably wouldn't be able to be a track star. I'm like, okay, you know, that's where prayer comes in. But I didn't tell anybody about my baby. Only my parents knew, because sometimes you tell people things and it's just, you know, you constantly hear it and you're like, okay, I don't want to hear it today. I just don't. So tell 1 or 2 people and y'all pray about it every day. Then you'll just start seeing changes. You don't have to tell everybody what you're going through right then and there. A week before I had my baby, they were like, okay, since she's not here yet, let's just go ahead and do another ultrasound one last time just to check to see if the mass had grown any. So I'm telling the lady, like, well, it was a tech at first. She came in and she was like, okay, I'm maneuvering the probe around, but I do not see it at all. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's a little spot like you tell me every time. She was like, I know, I just don't see it. So I was just kind of worried. I'm like, okay, don't tell me and shift to the other side. So she was like, just give me a minute, let me go and get the doctor. So the doctor actually came in and looked. And she was like, it was on the right side, right? And I'm telling her, I'm like, no. I know my parts of the body. I know the anatomy, so no, it was not the right side. Y'all told me it was the left side. She was like, okay, I don't want to make nothing up, but I don't see it. It's not there. I said, what you mean? She was like, it's not there anymore. I'm going to put on this paper, resolved, but the mass is gone. Y'all, I had a praise break outside in the parking lot. I'm like, I couldn't even get in my car yet. Sorry, y'all. But just hearing those words in my mind, I'm thinking about it all over again. This is what I mean about having a testimony. God is real. I don't care what nobody says. That's why I say this video is for the believers and the non-believers. But we prayed every day, all day. Before I had the ultrasound done, I was like, okay, this is it. Come on, let's say a prayer together. My dad would lead the prayer. Just like when they tried to say my baby had Down syndrome, I was like, it's time to pray. But y'all, that was the best news ever. I was like, man, I did not know I was this strong. You never know how strong you are until you go through something. And that is the truth. Y'all, God is real. That's all I can say. I am blessed. I am blessed. They were like, you and your baby, y'all are fighters. We work together. We work together through this. We work together through birth. That's my baby. Sorry, y'all. I said I wasn't gonna cry, but that hit me all over again. I hope y'all shouting, clapping, whatever. My baby is healthy. Like I said, she's about to turn 1. So now I just want to introduce Marielle to you all. The moment you all have been waiting for. Hey. This is Marielle, everyone. You telling them hey? Hey. This is my angel. She is heaven sent, for real. My baby girl, my love bug, my miracle baby. They've been waiting to meet you. Say, I'm about to be 1. Okay, you gonna dance for him? I love you, mama. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you were blessed by our story. Say thank you for watching. I want you all to share this with your family and friends. Happy holidays to you all.